So if you're looking at it, right, what is directional volatility in histogram? Essentially, what we have built is we have way to calculate a downside risk and upside risk when it comes to volatility. So we measure volatility not just like how, okay, yeah, volatility is high, it can mean anything. It can mean that due to high volatility, it is pushing prices up or down. So we have been able to solve for that at any point of time. If the volatility is high, whether it's a positive volatility or negative volatility. So we have basically solved for that first. And what it tells you over last 4.5 years that we track how the stock actually did, what was the real risk of owning this stock, how the stock has responded to volatility in the past, whether it gave you positive returns, whether it gave you negative returns, whether it was just consistent with how it has reacted. And if you look at the images that I sent you, right?
I think this is a good example of a right cluster, because if you look at the Apple
Yes.
stock right here, you can see how it clusters.
Yes. So the blue is your standard distribution. And again, you don't need to know. All you need to see is whether these greens are like toward that right hand side, reds are more toward left hand side, if there is a wider peak, or if it is like a tall peak. In that image that I sent you, let's say this Apple stock, it has this right cluster. What it means that this stock has seen lesser downside risk over recent history. Means last 4.5 years, this stock has seen, probably given you better returns if you were long on this stock. If you see more red cluster toward the left side of that distribution curve, then what it tells you that this stock has seen greater downside risk over recent history. Means if you were long on this stock, you probably lost money. If you see more wider peak, right, then what it tells you that this stock has seen more erratic extremes over recent history. You may see one day it's just running up, and the next day it's falling drastically. And then if you see these tall peaks, then this stock has performed like more consistently in recent history. When I say recent history, I'm talking about 4.5 years that you are seeing on our platform. So we are tracking just for that period. We are not tracking from the origin of the stock. So all it does, it gives you that, feeling about that stock. Oh, I'm trying to go long on Apple, for example, how it did in the recent history.
Right.
So it's useful information, yet it's one of those information that you can't just trade with alone.
Right.
It's good to know kind of information.